Hey guys, it's been a hot minute since I've talked to you guys and put up a video. It's been probably like 3 weeks. I do apologize for that. I'm still gonna be on YouTube, still doing that, still loving it a lot. I have a ton of ideas for videos and I do want to keep going. I just had some personal things come up, and when I get like stress and anxiety, it makes it really hard for me to like deal with certain situations and not just stew and sit in the situation, the moment, and just have so much anxiety and stress over it because I can't do anything about it. I do apologize if you guys hear stuff in the background. That's just me doing laundry and that. I just have some stuff that I need to get taken care of in that, and I need clean clothes, so whatever, you guys are stuck with the noise. I really hate when those situations come up where they're out of blue, random, and they're so stressful, so full of anxiety for me that it makes it near impossible for me to actually focus and take care of other situations that are going on. I've just been like focusing on work strictly, and then I haven't really had time to like talk to family or see family or anything like that, just because all of my energy, my time has been going to dealing with this stressful, anxiety-ridden situation, trying to get stuff taken care of. So I wanted to sit down and actually let you guys know what's been going on for me, kind of give an update. And then I also wanted to talk about this specific situation that I'm involved in right now, because me just doing Google searches and that, this is a common situation, but no one really has like what they did or how to go about dealing with this situation. So I want to make a video on it because I think that's extremely helpful, and that's my whole point of being on YouTube, is to share my experience and my life and create conversations around that. We have a 2017 Chevy Sonic, and we bought it brand new in Idaho Falls before we decided to move to here in Arizona. But it's been really nice having that brand new car, and that also was our very first brand new car. So it's a big deal for us. So when you buy a Chevy Sonic, at least back in 2017, you get 2 free like oil changes with car wash and all that good stuff. It's like a complimentary care package when you get your new vehicle. We bought it like October 2017, and then the next year came and we took it in to a first shop here once we moved to Arizona. And they decided to go ahead and just change the oil without telling us, and they used our first free one. So we're like, okay, like that's fine. We actually didn't realize till like recently that they had done the oil change, and it was like slightly below 3,000 miles. They did it like really soon. Fast forward to November 2018, and it's been several miles, and it's like, you know, at the end of the year, and I was trying to do 2 oil changes a year. And so I went ahead and had them take it in. Our oil light change thing came on, that the oil change needed to be done. We took it in for another issue as well and said, hey, could you also use our last free oil change? So we left it over the weekend, picked it up Monday, none the wiser, thought everything was good. Fast forward to now, where our oil change light comes on again saying, hey, you need oil change. So we go to take it in, and as far as I was aware, we had used both of our free oil changes, and I didn't want to go back to the dealer here because they're quite a bit more expensive. So I actually went to an oil change place here in Arizona where they did a special. So I took it in for the special, for an early bird special. And as soon as they opened it up to check the dipstick to do the oil change, they were like, we cannot do the oil change. You need to take it back to where you had it previously done. So we're like, okay, well, that was the dealer. It's literally directly across the street. We'll just go over there and tell them what they told us, that either they put the wrong oil in or they never did the oil change back in November. So we take it over to the dealership and we're like, hey, this is what they told us. They wrote it down on a sheet and even put some of the sludge that was in there on the paper so you could physically see it, and we would have like a sample, an example of what's been going on in the vehicle. Immediately they're told that they cannot find us in the system, that we've never been to that dealership before. They're not going to help us. I was very confused and very concerned because I know that we were there in like November 2018. I remember us taking it in for a warranty issue because one of the lights had come on the dash and it ended up being like an emissions valve, something really weird that I've never heard of, and we had them do the oil change at the same time because it was needed at that time. I was like, crap, I hope that I have the invoice because otherwise it's just my word against theirs. And in the system, they couldn't see anything except for that very first time that we went, and it was in a different city near Tempe, and so that's all they had in the system. That like all the way back in February 2018, we had one oil change done and that was it. Now we've had it done way more than that. I was like, I'll go home, see if I can find an invoice. I usually try to keep everything. So tip number 1, keep all invoices and all warranty records for all servicing of your vehicle. Even if you do your own oil change yourself, just keep the receipt, and then also keep a logbook of date and time and what service was completed on your vehicle, because that actually will still stand with warranty work. I come home and luckily I was able to find the invoice. So then we immediately went over there and we're like, hey, this is the invoice. We have been here before, so I don't know what's wrong with your system. And as soon as they hand the invoice to the guy, which he ended up being the guy that we talked to in November, he's the same service advisor. He's like, no, I have this in there. And we're like, no, that's a different city. It's a different invoice. You guys don't have this one. And he proceeds to argue with us. He's like, you know what? Let's just go back, look on the computer, because no, I have it. And so we're like, okay, that's fine. So I'm immediately kind of like touchy and upset. And like the biggest tip number 2 when dealing with service advisors is it's not really their fault. And like honestly, the service advisor that we have right now, he doesn't even know the owner's manual information on the vehicle. He doesn't really know anything. He's just managing all the workload and everything for the techs. So tip number 2, don't necessarily get so upset with them. It's not their fault, it's just their job. It would be like you getting upset with someone that works in fast food. It's not their fault. They just work there. Try to be as kind as possible. Like, do understand that sometimes it gets very aggravating and upsetting, but honestly, like me getting upset at the service advisor, it didn't help. It just made him like really touchy. So when we went in there and he pulled up the invoice, because he was fine, now that he had the invoice, he could pull it up in the system. It shows, oh yeah, we had service done, but we did not have an oil change. And so we were very confused and asked, well, we brought it in for an oil change. What did you guys do? So they did fix the warranty issue for the emissions thing, and they did a free car wash, and then they also put in codes to talk about the extended warranty with us, even though it's a bit soon for that. And so we're like, okay, well, we told you guys to do the free oil change. You guys did the car wash, which is part of the free oil change complimentary care package. Why did you guys not do the oil change? And the guy's like, I don't know. And so we're like, okay, well, what the heck happened? Like, that's why we brought in the car. We left it over the weekend for that reason. And he's like, well, all I can tell you is in the service records that the oil was checked as part of a 30 multi or 15 multi-point inspection, and the oil was fine. So we're like, okay, so I guess maybe you guys checked the oil, said that it looked good, and so decided not to do the oil change, even though we asked you to do the oil change. Not really sure what happened. And unfortunately, in that situation, it's a he said versus she said, and there's not really anything that they're going to do. So we're like, okay, well, we're worried about the vehicle being damaged more than what we can physically tell right now. Can you guys go ahead, open it up, see what's wrong, and then also put this all under warranty? Because as far as I'm aware, I've taken care of the vehicle the way that is necessary and per the owner's manual. And what do you know, they're not gonna do it. So it's kind of frustrating and aggravating. And I think the biggest thing through all of this is the whole runaround BS of we have service records via our OnStar reports that show that our oil change indicator life percentage was actually reset back in November, just as it was reset back in February. And until now, it finally went off. So the oil change is due now. But when they checked the oil back in November and decided not to do an oil change, they also reset the oil life indicator. So we went a whole nother cycle as if we had done an oil change, but they didn't do an oil change. I'm not really sure what to do in that sort of situation, and looking up on Google search and that to try to find what's going on and how to even proceed. there's not really anything out there. And so at this point where I'm sitting is we're gonna go ahead and do an oil change, have them do the last free oil change like they were supposed to do last year, and we'll just go a couple of miles, a couple hundred miles, and then we'll do the oil change again, and hopefully that will take care of the sludge that's in the engine right now. It doesn't look too terrible, but from what they're claiming right now is that there's metal shavings inside, which could mean that the engine ate itself. But from the pictures, the inside actually doesn't look that bad. There's still oil in there. It's not like it's bone dry and there's no oil in there and there's moving parts and it's just dry. It's not like that. It's just that there's been so much heat that there's a ton of sludge in the top of the block. So that's kind of interesting. My biggest things that I could say from this is make sure that you know what you're talking about when you go in there. Try to stay as calm and cool and collected as possible as well. My biggest thing that I kept coming at them with is that the owner's manual says that you only need to change your oil once a year. And I'm assuming that that's based on the average mileage that people drive is 7,500 miles a year. So every 7,500 miles, you should be changing your oil. And that actually is supported by the Chevrolet service schedule. It's every 7,500 miles. So I'm assuming that that's how many miles you're supposed to go in a year, and that's how often you should change your oil and all of that. So if you go more than 7,500 miles in a year, you need to change it more than just the once a year. And then our warranty is covered under maintenance is per the owner's manual, which is once a year. And so as far as I'm concerned, we were, maintaining the vehicle as we should be, but I guess not because the warranty was denied. The other very interesting thing in this situation is asking for the paperwork on the warranty and not being able to get anything from the service advisor per the warranty claim. He won't even give us a claim number. It's kind of interesting. He just wrote up an email, or his supervisor wrote up an email claiming that, they are not even maintaining their vehicle, so this is a customer pay. And so we went ahead and gave them the OnStar reports to show that yes, we have been maintaining it, and also you guys cleared the indicator, so this is on you. You guys need to fix this. And they still have denied it without a claim number. So I'm thinking that the guy actually never submitted a claim, warranty, or anything. They're just emailing back and forth and just trying not to take it in, which is very interesting. So after we see what happens today, I'm just gonna have them do the oil change and then be done with them, and I'm never going back to that dealer ever again, and I'm never working with that service advisor ever again either, because he just doesn't do his job. He just sounds like he doesn't know what he's talking about, and even when he's like, I'll call you tomorrow, and he doesn't, it's just super aggravating, because I'm like, I've been without my vehicle for 3 weeks, and they won't give me a loaner unless they can put it under warranty. So my whole family, which we're closer to a 3-car family, but we have 2 cars since we kind of get along doing that, to go to 1 car for 3 weeks has been insane and crazy. So that's where we're at, and hopefully all the stress and the anxiety from this whole thing can just be done, and I can move on, make videos for you guys, and just get back to living my normal life without stress and anxiety. Like, who knew taking the vehicle in for an oil change was gonna turn into this? Like, it's not like I don't service my vehicle, I do. I was taking it in for an oil change, and they're trying to say I don't, and that's just crazy to me. And and I did take it in back in November, but they didn't do it. So yeah, that's where we're at. So step number 1, make sure you keep all of your service records, receipts, everything for your warranty work and to support your claims of the work that you've done on your vehicle. 2, try to stay calm, cool, collected as much as possible. But that's everything. That's the situation, and hopefully we're done with all of this. Wow. Like, have you dealt with a situation like this before where you take it into a dealer or service center and you just feel like they're not being honest with you, or they're kind of like dragging you along? Like, tell me your guys' stories. Give me comments. Let me know what you think about my situation. If you think like I'm a complete idiot and I have no idea what I'm talking about, or if you would do something different in my situation, just let me know down in the comment section down below. I am over 100 subscribers right now thanks to all of your guys' support. Check out down below the subscriber shout out for this video. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Remember, I love every single one of you. I hope that you have a great day, and I'll see you in my next video.